Okay, so you know how we're all about getting the most out of our work, right? We talk a lot about efficiency and productivity and, all those good things. But
Hmm.
sometimes it feels like we're just spinning our wheels. Like we're busy, but are we actually making a difference? Are we delivering real value, or are we just, going through the motions?
Totally. And that's especially true when it comes to Agile, right? It's like Agile is everywhere now, but
Yeah, it's like the default setting.
yeah, exactly. It's like every company is Agile, every team has a Scrum board, everyone's talking about sprints and Jira and all that. But are we actually seeing the benefits that Agile promised?
I mean, that's a really good question, right?
Mm,
And that's what we're digging into today in this deep dive. We've got a bunch of articles here that are questioning whether Agile is living up to its hype
yeah.
or
Mm.
whether it's become kind of a set of rituals that we're just blindly following without really thinking about the impact.
Yeah, and they're really highlighting this tension between like the original spirit of Agile, which was all about being adaptable and customer focused,
Right.
and what it's become in some cases, which is like this rigid, process heavy thing that's more about, ticking boxes than delivering actual value.
Totally. And they all come back to this one central question. Are we actually delivering more value or just more output?
Right.
Like, are we just shipping more stuff without really considering if it's the right stuff?
Exactly. And that's what we want to unpack in this deep dive. We want to pull out the key insights from these articles that will help you understand like where Agile is at right now
Yeah.
and what we need to do to get back to that core focus on delivering real value to our customers and to the business.
So let's get into it.
All right, let's jump in.
One of the things that these articles really highlight is this idea of Agile becoming too focused on efficiency, sometimes at the expense of actual impact.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
Like, we get really good at running our sprints efficiently. We hit all our velocity targets. Our stand-ups are like perfectly timed. But then we look at things like customer satisfaction or revenue, and they're not moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and it's so easy to fall into that trap, right?
Yeah.
We get so focused on like optimizing our process and hitting our internal metrics that we forget about the bigger picture. Like, what are we actually trying to achieve here?
Yeah, it's like we're celebrating the fact that we're driving really fast, but we're going in the wrong direction.
Exactly.
And Agile was supposed to be all about getting fast feedback, right?
Right.
But the articles suggest that the feedback loops we often have in place now are more about process than actual learning. Like,
Yeah.
Are we on track? Are there any roadblocks? But not really. Is what we're building actually solving the right problems for our users?
Yeah, and the speed of delivery is great, but it doesn't mean anything if we're delivering the wrong things, right?
Right. So if just focusing on efficiency isn't enough, what's the shift we need to make? The articles talk a lot about this idea of recentering Agile around customer signals.
Yeah, that's a key takeaway. It's about moving away from being purely output driven and becoming more focused on outcomes. Like, instead of just counting the number of features we ship, we start measuring the impact those features have on our customers and the business.
Okay, so, less about how much we ship, more about what actually happens after we ship it.
Right, exactly.
And the articles talk about some interesting frameworks for doing that, like fit for purpose or F4P
Yeah,
and jobs to be done.
JTBD. Yeah, those are really useful tools for understanding what our customers really want and need.
Can you unpack those a little bit for us? Like, what is fit for purpose and how does it help us be more customer-centric?
So F4P is all about understanding how well your product or service meets the customer's purpose. Like, what are they actually hiring your product to do? And it starts with asking these three really simple but powerful questions.
Okay, yeah, what are those questions?
So the first one is, what's the customer's actual purpose when they hire our product or service? And this really forces us to step outside of our own assumptions and see things from the customer's perspective.
And the second question.
The second one is, how well did we deliver on that purpose? So it's not just about whether we built the thing, but whether it actually works for the customer in the way that they need it to.
Okay, and the third question.
The third question is, what signals are telling us we're fit or unfit for their needs? So it's about actively looking for and listening to feedback from our customers.
So it's not just like guessing or assuming that we know what they want. It's about actually gathering data and evidence.
Exactly. And the cool thing about these questions is that they're not just theoretical.
Yeah.
They're directly linked to business outcomes. Like, if a customer's core purpose isn't being met, you're going to see that reflected in things like lower retention rates, decreased customer satisfaction, which ultimately impacts profitability.
Right, so it's good for the customer and it's good for the business. Now, the articles also talk about some of the standard Agile meetings And they kind of make us question whether those meetings are actually helping us learn and improve in ways that benefit the customer.
Yeah, that's a bit of a controversial topic, right? But it's a valid point. Like, are our stand-ups and retros truly helping us get better, or have they become more about routine than real insight?
Like, take the daily stand-up, for example.
Yeah.
We've all been in those stand-ups where it's just like, yesterday I worked on ticket number whatever. Today I'm going to finish it. No blockers.
Yeah, no impediment.
No impediments. And it's efficient, right?
Right.
We get through it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But how often do we actually talk about whether that ticket is actually moving the needle for the customer?
Yeah, that's the key question. Like, why are we working on this ticket? How does it contribute to the customer's success? Is it the most valuable thing we could be doing right now?
Right. And if we're not asking those questions, then we're just optimizing for speed without really considering direction.
Exactly.
And what about retrospectives? Like, those are supposed to be our chance to reflect and learn and adapt.
Right. But the articles point out that retrospectives often become very internally focused.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about how to improve our processes, how to estimate better, how to manage our workload more effectively. And those are all important things. But the big question that's often missing is, did what we deliver in the last sprint actually make a positive difference for our customers?
Like, did it actually work for them?
Exactly. Like, we can have the most amazing process in the world, but if the end product doesn't resonate with users or solve their problems, then what's the point?
So how do we make that shift? How do we actually start incorporating these customer signals like fit for purpose into our daily work?
So it's about shifting our focus from just making our development team more efficient to making our product more fit for its intended purpose.
Right.
Like, how well does it actually address the reasons why customers choose to use it? And the articles talk about using things like surveys and feedback loops to measure this fitness.
Okay, so we're talking about actually going out and asking our customers, hey, how are we doing? Is this working for you?
Right, exactly. And not just in a general sense, but about specific aspects of the product that matter to them.
Go.
Like, for some customers, speed might be the most important thing. For others, it might be reliability or ease of use.
Got it.
So you might use surveys or other feedback mechanisms to get ratings on these specific fitness criteria.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can visualize this data in what the articles call box scores, which give you a really clear data-driven view of how the product is performing from the customer's perspective.
Okay, so it's like a report card for our product, but from the customer's point of view.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you have different customer segments and you see how they're rating you on things like speed, reliability, ease of use, whatever's important for that segment. And it gives you a really clear picture of where you're doing well and where you need to improve.
Yeah, and that's way more insightful than just looking at, how many story points we completed or whatever. So how does this kind of data actually influence like how we run our sprints or our sprint reviews?
So imagine a sprint review where instead of just, demoing the features and counting up the story points, the team starts by discussing the latest fitness deltas. Like, okay, we saw a dip in the reliability score for our enterprise users this month, even though we shipped all our planned features.
Right.
Let's look at the feedback and understand why.
Yeah.
Or our small business customers are consistently giving us high marks for ease of use. What are we doing right there that we can leverage elsewhere?
Right. So it's not just about what we built, but about the actual impact it's having.
Exactly. It's about making our development efforts directly accountable to the people who are actually using our product.
I love that. And this must also impact how we set our goals in the first place, right?
Right.
The articles talk about reframing OKRs with customer purpose.
Absolutely. Even OKRs, which are supposed to be more outcome-focused than traditional metrics, can still end up measuring outputs rather than actual value.
Right, like number of new users acquired or number of features launched or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. F4P provides that essential link back to customer purpose. So instead of setting a key result like launch 3 new onboarding tutorials, you might set a key result like improve onboarding success rate for new SMB customers as measured by a 20% increase in their average time to first value according to F4P feedback.
Okay, so it's tying the goal directly to that customer outcome.
Right. Or increase delivery predictability for enterprise clients, evidenced by a 15% improvement in their reliability ratings in the F4P survey.
So it's all about making sure that our goals are actually aligned with what matters to our customers.
Exactly. And the articles even introduce this idea of a post-Agile playbook. Like, we're moving beyond just doing Agile for the sake of it and towards something more mature and more effective.
Okay, I like that. So what are some of the key ingredients in this post-Agile playbook?
So one key element is this idea of flow, not just sprints. Which brings the Kanban method back into focus. Kanban is all about continuous flow, visualizing bottlenecks, managing work in progress, all with a constant eye on fitness, predictability, and sustainability. It's about delivering value smoothly and consistently.
So Kanban provides that structure for how the work moves, and then F4P and JTBD give us the direction for what work to focus on in the first place.
Right, exactly. JTBD helps us understand why a customer chooses our product, what job are they hiring it to do in their lives or businesses. And then F4P gives us the framework to measure how well our product is actually performing that job for different customer segments. It's all about moving away from building based on internal assumptions or a static roadmap and towards building based on a deep understanding of actual customer needs and how we're meeting them. And the articles really emphasize using F4P cards and box scores as ongoing tools to track customer perceptions and make informed decisions about where to focus our efforts.
It's like we're constantly checking in with our customers and making sure that we're on track. Now, we can't have a conversation about the future of work without talking about AI. Oh, right. Seems like AI is everywhere these days.
Yeah, it's the hot topic, and the articles offer a very practical perspective on AI.
Okay.
Not as like a magic bullet or a strategy in itself, but as a powerful amplifier.
Okay, so it can make things louder, but it doesn't change the song.
Exactly. Like, if you're feeling at bad data or focusing on the wrong metrics, AI isn't going to suddenly make you build better products.
Right. It's garbage in, garbage out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But if we integrate it with something like the customer insights we get from F4P and JTBD,
Yeah.
that's where things get really interesting. By feeding AI systems with rich data on customer purpose from JTBD segment-specific fitness ratings from F4P and workflow data from Kanban, you can create a much more intelligent and responsive system.
Right.
Like the articles give some really cool examples. AI could potentially identify early warning signs of declining fitness scores based on user behavior patterns.
Wow.
It could highlight underserved customer segments with unmet jobs, or even help generate backlog items that are directly linked to improving fitness in key areas.
So it's like AI is helping us be more proactive and more targeted in our development efforts.
Right. It's about using AI to help us build smarter, not just faster.
I love that.
Yeah.
So if we were to kind of summarize this post-Agile blueprint, what would be the essential steps?
First, deeply understand your customer's purpose using JTBD and F4P to identify key segments and their specific needs.
Okay.
Second, continuously validate how well you're meeting those needs through F4P cards and ongoing feedback loops. Third, use a flow-based system like Kanban to manage the delivery of value in a flexible and responsive manner.
Okay.
Fourth, align your OKRs directly to those customer-defined fitness criteria to ensure you're measuring what truly matters. And finally, strategically leverage AI as a tool to analyze the data and amplify your ability to understand and respond to evolving customer needs.
So it's not about throwing out Agile entirely. It's more about evolving it.
Right. Exactly. Agile gave us a lot of valuable tools and ideas.
Yeah.
But now it's time to take it to the next level and really focus on what ultimately drives value for the customer and for the business.
So the question we should be asking after every release isn't just, did we ship what we planned, but something much more fundamental.
Right.
Like, did we actually deliver on the reasons why our customers hired our product, and are we demonstrably more fit to meet their needs today than we were yesterday?
That's the question.
It's a powerful shift in perspective, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's not just about building better products. It's about building a more sustainable and successful business.
I love it. So to wrap up this deep dive, the key takeaway for you is the need to really put the customer at the center of everything we do.
Right.
Frameworks like Fit for Purpose and Jobs to be Done give us powerful tools to do that. And using data to get a clear picture of how well we're meeting customer needs is essential for making smart decisions and driving real value.
We've really explored how Agile is evolving and how we can move towards a more customer-centric and evidence-based approach to building and delivering products.
Now, here's a challenge for you. What's one small way you could start incorporating customer fitness signals into your current workflow? Maybe it's just asking a different question in your next retro or stand-up.
Right.
Or maybe it's looking at your metrics and asking yourself, do these actually reflect the value we're delivering to our customers?
We really encourage you to dive deeper into the concepts of fit for purpose and jobs to be done.
Yeah.
Look for practical examples and case studies and see how you can apply these ideas in your own context.
That's what the deep dive is all about, giving you a shortcut to being well-informed and sparking those aha moments that help you make a real difference in your work.
Right.
Until our next deep dive.
See you then.
Bye.